welcome back to another video slash a little bit update video. Well, slash discussion video. So first and foremost, we have some new upcoming, scrapped items. Now, I didn't upload my last one because I thought it was kind of like, didn't get all the thing. But first and foremost, we have of course, we have a scrapped Zappatron item, minigun. Now, at first, I thought it was kind of interesting because I kind of like had this idea like before, but this was probably an old one. My idea was I recently watched an anime about a while ago. I don't know if you know this anime, but I forgot what it was called, like some kind of 100 or something like that. That's what the anime was called. And they had this thing called like um, if you look it up, you'll look it up. It's a really good anime. Uh, and there's a thing called, there's this one of the girls had this giant laser cannon, this huge laser cannon, the size of like it was bigger than her, and she would carry this thing like it would be like it's her like actual weapon as what it assumes like these. Um, so in the recent by Hypex, and these are some of the concepts that I'm going to read off of. First and foremost, the UI. So Epic a while ago, there was a new UI system a while ago that Epic was working on. Now, if you remember back in the day, they had this UI. If you remember, there was like a select screen, and they would choose I think it was like back in chapter 1, season 7. Before I think it was uh, like when they I think it was like chapter, like it was right like when the Crave was just recently announced, and they changed the actual like background. Instead of you going through the discovery tab, and well instead of you going through the how do I explain it? Instead of you going through like some kind of section, they would it's kind of like the Overwatch design, right? You've seen, like, if you watch any Overwatch characters, they would have their character right there, like Reaper or Winston or whatever. They have their character there, and then you'll like see their the player, the skin or whatever skin you're using on that front page. Now, at first, I thought that might be a cool idea. However, there's something a little bit something wrong about this UI. First of all, it looks amazing. However, with those type of things, is that you can't experience the lobby. When you go into a lobby right here, like you can see how, like right now, you can see like the background with the cubes and all that kind of. I mean, with all the Herald stuff in this background, you won't be able to see this because they'll all be like cut out or something like that. But it's a cool idea, personally. But I think I know why Epic didn't want to do that is because it kind of felt like it was kind of like another version of what like other games do. But they may do something similar. But I think it's just that it looks really good. Uh, the thing that I like about it is that it kind of sorts out like the discovery tabs and such forth. You know how we go into discovery tab, right? We go in discovery tab, right? You got all these like these things right here. You got like this one, you got this one, then you got this one, like all this, right? And then you just like these are like featured like tabs right here. Um, but I really wish that Epic would allow us to go to like have this UI, but there's another section to where you have the Discovery tab, and then you can go instead of going into the menu, selecting all this and all this kind of stuff. It's just a pain. Like you gotta scroll through everything, so you gotta go like here, 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 and here. but maybe they'll have something similar. But I don't know. I mean, this is like a really good idea. I like it a lot. Um, but the next thing is about the map UI. Now, this was really interesting. So it looks like sort of like a mini map, like a map, like version of the Fortnite Battle Royale from Chapter 1. You can see like some old POIs. If you look up Hypixel, you'll find it somewhere around here posted. It looks like some kind of UI. And of course, you have some challenges and things like that. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually this probably already existed in Fortnite Battle Royale, because if you guys can go see, like when you go to your menu right here, you can see all the tabs and such forth, and then you can have a little check mark, right? So yeah, and then you can also do that with like for example, if you can pin a quest, right? You can, like if I go to my daily quest, like a daily quest, and I can pin it, right? And it's kind of like the exact same thing, but with a different kind of system. So you have pin challenges and normal challenges. So yeah, I think this like this one specifically. Also, for some reason there's a bug with what's her name? The Lex Rose, is that every time when she like if you her eyes would turn really pink for some reason. I don't know why, but um, and then you'll say completed challenges. I think we already have this type of thing, where every time when you go into the when you do a challenge like on Fortnite, right? Towards the end of the match, you'll say complete, 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 right? And yeah, so kind of like that. And then of course we have the UI, the Overwatch UI, and then of course I mentioned about the Zapper. Now, personally, I like this idea. I really do. I had something similar to this idea, but it's kind of like a more of a hard-hitted you know how the railgun has this like it shoots a laser and then it just disappears right there. It's more like a laser instead of like a electricity coming out. I, I like this. Zapatron minigun where you shoot and it just like creates this maybe like like electricity beaming out like that. You know, it'd be kind of really cool to see something like that. Um, and Epic has done this before. I feel like there's a lot more at stake. I mean, they have hinted at the Zapatron multiple times in the past with the whole season chapter 2, with the chapter 3. We saw the Zapatron there. However, it didn't happen because there was no Zapatron. So it was probably teased, but it was never intended to be in the game. So I guess I don't know. It was teased in chapter 3, but didn't happen. There was no there was no guns with electricity, and there was nothing. So I seem like Epic may have you know, because the Zapatron is an electricity gun, and it didn't happen at all. So we saw if you remember chapter when towards chapter 2 season 8 live event, and that cinematic where the Foundation was using a new type of railgun. It's called the Rift gun, right? And I mentioned this before, where Epic really has to stop. They really need to consider about looking at these concepts, and they might work, but for example, the Rift gun is a good idea, but they think that it might be too powerful. But the thing is, it's not going to be powerful. It's just going to be it won't rift. It will probably I think they kind of think that it might have been in testing before, where they're testing it. However, when it tested it might have been a little bit too powerful. So maybe something similar to that, where they can reduce the radius of the actual damage of these rift guns also. And same with the the pistol, that rift pistol would be kind of really cool to see in Fortnite. But however, I feel like maybe Epic just doesn't want to do it. I mean, they have such like the Zaptron hasn't been seen for a long time, and even with the whole where this concept appeared right now with the Zapper, uh, Zaptron minigun, and it would be a really cool idea to see if that was like the case. You know, just imagine you like shooting a giant gun, and it would shoot like a laser, kind of like the goo gun, but maybe a little bit less damage. You know, maybe it have a very like when you shoot it, like for example, like the Kami right, right. You know the Kami instead of like a quick shot, it'll have like a very long, and then it'll have to charge like very cool. Like it'll be also really cool to see in like in creative. I mean not creative. Save the World, because this gun would look amazing in Save the World. It would fit perfectly. Um, but yeah, it's like a lot of these guns look like they're really good. Like the whole electricity guns look amazing. Even like nowadays, like people use like like this type of thing. You'll probably see this like this design itself is very like a design you would see in real life if someone actually created it. And the interesting thing, someone could perhaps create something like this, where, uh, where like it's just like amazing concept. I think it's amazing concept. We also have the railgun, but the railgun, it's like a simple gun. But however, the railgun shoots through walls. This one maybe not shoot. It will probably not shoot well through walls, but it probably will melt walls down. Maybe like reduce how much like I would say like reduce how much like maybe it takes a long time to charge or something. Like maybe a couple such forth, and it's just like amazing. And then of course, but instead of instead of going through the walls, it would just like you know, will have to vaporize the wall. So it'll probably be not as powerful because people are like insane at building. So maybe not in zero build probably, but I think it'll be really interesting to see. Maybe it might have to reduce of like how far it can go. So maybe there'll be like, because I know electricity has like travels really far, right? Maybe it has like a very short range or something like that, or maybe the power gets, maybe it like I don't know, but we'll see. Because maybe maybe you can only shoot like maybe a few seconds before the beam goes down. Like it just like so you shoot the beam like that like it goes like you have to charge it a very long time. It goes kind of like the Zappertron, but you have to charge it, so it'd be kind of really interesting. So maybe it has a very short, like a short radius of how much damage, like a short, like for example, maybe it has a shorter, uh, like instead of shooting like a very very maybe the I mean the spread itself might be smaller than what looks normally. Now, for example, like the Zaptron. Epic hasn't brought that thing back in like since like forever, and yeah, and it was like personally, I think the Zappertron itself, I don't think it'll be that great. If they do bring it back, I think it would be not a really great, powerful weapon. It was probably powerful back in the day, but not as powerful now because. Probably you'll have if they do bring the Zaptron back, it'll be kind of really interesting. They may bring it back for next chapter, who knows? But I really hope that they bring some kind of these cool electricity guns to the game, because I really think we do have a lot of couple electricity guns. For example, like the pulse rifle. You guys remember the pulse rifle that shoots? And we also have that electricity. What's that gun called again? The plasma gun, where you shoot it and it just like it just creates this giant energy ball, right? I mean, it's pretty powerful, but it takes a long time to charge, and it's not that great. and there's some other guns, also electricity guns. The rail gun was pretty powerful, but it does take a long time to charge up. So, just like take an example of like the rail gun might be a possibility for like, and even the pulse rifle has a very slow like shooting. So maybe this will be kind of the exact same thing where it has to take a long time to charge. Because as you know, like with electricity, if it overheats, it needs to cool down because electricity gets very hot. So personally, I think Epic should really start thinking about bringing back these old like electricity guns. Maybe like the Zapper where it has to take like you have to charge up, and then you got because nowadays people can snipe you really quickly with those other guns. So yeah, I don't know. Just like thinking about it, it's kind of really interesting. Of course, all these are just concepts that Epic did. So they were saying that they're all scrapped. They're not real. Like I mean, they were real back in the day, but now they're just like a bunch of like trash items. But they were just like amazing concepts. That's for sure. I love the Zapatron minigun that people call it, or the Zappa, or we'll call it the Zippy Zappy, the Zippy Zappy minigun. So Zippy Zappy is a minigun. Of course, we saw some like challenges on the map. I mean, you can still do it. Like, I mean, you can pin quests and such with this one is not the one that the map and such was not scrapped. Definitely not scrapped. And then of course the UI for Overwatch, like the Overwatch UI, it was kind of a little bit. And then Showdown, I don't know what that is. And also, I think it would, like as I mentioned, I don't think it would work. I mean the Overwatch UI, because everyone's gonna call it the Overwatch or some Borderlanders UI. Wouldn't work because of the fact that Epic has like at least like how many modes do they have? Like, let's see, they have Horde Rush, for example. They have Battle Royale, Zero Build, Creative, Arena modes, right? Maybe something like, it might actually work. I mean, personally, it might actually work. I mean, like, you can maybe there'll be like a section for the Discovery tab, and then you can see all the different like, I don't know. It might like if Epic had a design like that, it would be kind of really interesting to see. However, the only problem is that you wouldn't be able to play with other people. You wouldn't be able to see like your friends, right? So, I mean, you'll probably see them in the background, right? So, I don't know. Maybe you'll see them in the background and then have like, maybe it's something like Call of Duty, for example. And then yesterday, I mentioned about yesterday, but I didn't upload the video, is about callouts. Now, these are kind of like banner callouts that Epic did with all the crests with the banner, and they're really cool. Definitely really cool about callouts. And then of course we had some kind of weird intro / tutorial, and it counts how many number of wins. There's one person who said it kind of reminds me of the Crown wins, kind of like, and then there was like different versions of Victory Royales and such forth. And then of course we had some other cool concepts also. So it was so I mentioned a couple things in the game. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't add. They should add more like electric guns, because some of these electric guns might not be as powerful now. But they might be really good to play around with and creative, and both like, they had ideas, but they didn't want to bring them back. They didn't want to bring it because they don't know how powerful they are. Anyways, I hope you guys do enjoy. I took a picture of myself. And I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye. Oh, and all this is stuff is on Hypex's Twitter page, so you can check him out. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys do enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe new, and I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.